Good evening. I'm Jennifer Deaton, and welcome to Travel and Tour World, or TTW. It is 7 p.m. currently here in Atlanta. It's midnight in London, 3 a.m. in Dubai, and 9 a.m. in Melbourne. And here's what smart travelers need to know now. We start with the story every traveler wants: how to save big on airfare. Experts confirm that midweek departures, especially Tuesdays and Wednesdays, can save you up to 20%. And the best booking windows are 1 to 2 months ahead for domestic trips here in the US, and locally, anywhere you are, and 3 to 5 months for international flights. Tools like Google Flights, Skyscanner, Hopper, and Kayak are helping travelers track fares, set alerts, and spot price drops. And even shifting your trip by one day can actually save hundreds of dollars. For the full breakdown of the best booking windows and flight hacks, check out our website. In global tourism now, Mexico is climbing fast. In 2024, Mexico welcomed 45 million international visitors, that is, up 7.4% year over year, and it is on track to surpass Italy within 5 years. It will then join France, Spain, the US, and Turkey as among the world's top 5 destinations. Mexico's success comes from its diverse offerings. Mexico City for history, art, and cuisine. Cancun and the Riviera Maya for luxury resorts and Mayan ruins. Guadalajara for mariachi music and tequila culture. And the Pueblos Mágicos program, spotlighting 177 historic and cultural towns, ensuring tourism benefits local communities. Meanwhile, the current tourism elite, those top 5 places, remains strong. France leads with 102 million visitors, offering Paris, also Provence's lavender fields and vineyards, and Bordeaux's world famous wine country, of course. Spain in second place draws 93.8 million to Barcelona's Gaudi landmarks, to Sevilla's flamenco and Moorish heritage, and the Balearic Islands' iconic beaches and nightlife. The United States, next, welcomes 72.4 million visitors to the likes of New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and national icons like the Grand Canyon. And Turkey captivates with Istanbul and Cappadocia's hot air balloons and Mediterranean resort towns, of course. Mexico is poised to join them now, fueled by sustainability, cultural tourism, and eco-luxury travel. Separately, tourist taxes are now a global reality, and travelers should expect to see them more often. France will introduce a €30 entry fee for non-EU visitors, the Louvre and Versailles starting in 2026. The US has a $250 visa integrity fee, and many cities already add 10 to 15% hotel taxes. Mexico will add a $42 cruise passenger tax, supporting coastal preservation. Italy, Spain, and Greece are expanding accommodation and day tripper fees, including Venice's €5 entry and Balearic Island hikes of up to 200%. Norway, Scotland, and Thailand are also implementing hotel and cruise levies to fund infrastructure and conservation. While these modest fees do raise trip costs, they also fund preservation and sustainable tourism, protecting the world's most iconic destinations for the future, which is something we can all get behind. Canada's tourism sector is emerging as a global force, projected to contribute $183 billion in 2025 and support 1.8 million jobs. Domestic travel is strong, but international visits, especially from the US, remain below pre-pandemic levels, prompting Canada to diversify beyond a single source market. The challenge is staying competitive in a world shifting towards eco-conscious travel. Europe is booming with cultural heritage and sustainability investments. Asia Pacific, led by Japan, China, and Thailand, is seeing a rapid rebound fueled in part by pent-up demand. Latin America draws eco-adventure travelers to Mexico and Brazil, and Oceania leverages eco-luxury experiences like the Great Barrier Reef. Analysts say Canada's next phase depends on embracing sustainable tourism, digital engagement, and cultural immersion to stay competitive in a crowded global market. And now, from education to visas to work permits, August 2025 is bringing big changes. First, UK undergraduate tuition for home students rises to £9,535 per year, with higher maintenance loans to offset living costs. While this mainly affects UK and EU residents, it signals that the cost of studying and living in the UK is climbing, a trend international families and long-term education travelers should watch closely. India's 1 rupee visa sale is on from August 4th to the 5th, and it lets travelers apply for visas to the US, the UK, Schengen nations, and more at a fraction of the usual cost. US green card updates and new fees affect EB3 and EB5 applicants, plus new mandatory fees for work permits and asylum applications. And Saudi Arabia launches skill-based work permits, classifying foreign workers into high skill, skilled, and basic tiers. In the UK, they will begin training for 60,000 construction workers, opening pathways for skilled labor mobility. So all these policy shifts just mentioned will affect students, workers, and frequent travelers worldwide. And to our next story, the UK is bracing for Storm Floris, with winds up to 80 miles per hour and heavy rain expected to disrupt flights, trains, and road travel starting on Monday. Travelers should check flight and rail updates before traveling, allow extra time for potential delays, prepare for wet and windy conditions and possible power outages. Meanwhile, global weather threats continue. There's Typhoon Goryeo in the Philippines, Typhoon Hilda approaching Japan, Hurricane Ignacio off Mexico, and Cyclone Yash on alert for India. Severe weather is reshaping peak summer travel, and flexibility and safety is key for travelers. Finally, in the United States, Delta Airlines has canceled more than 300 flights, primarily through Atlanta, New York, Miami, and Orlando, as triple-digit heat and summer storms disrupt peak travel season. Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, Delta's largest hub, saw 239 cancellations and 370 delays. The airline is offering rebooking and flexible policies, but passengers must expect extended waits. FAA Administrator Brian Bedford has called the U.S. air traffic control system, quote, unacceptable, end quote, citing staffing shortages and aging technology. A $12.5 billion modernization plan is underway, but experts warn full improvements will take years. That's all for today's Travel and Tour World, or TTW update. For these stories in full and the latest travel trends, please visit us at travelandtourworld.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Wherever your journey takes you, travel smart and travel safe. Hope to see you next time.